What's going on, Movie Mails? You saw the title. This won't be up till later, but Kyle and I just sat talking after a non-spoiler review, and Kyle was like, just turn it on. We gotta talk.
Yeah, let's just do it, man.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll film this, and then we'll film maybe a second one later in the week where after we've seen it a few times and really get into it.
About 20 times?
Yeah, so
sounds about right.
I was just saying to Kyle, I'll start this one since I'll just go off of what I was saying.
Yeah, please do.
So guys, this is all spoilers. If you have to have seen the movie to watch this, please get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, when this movie is tear-jerking. You've seen the film, you're all here for spoilers. And when I've only cried in 3 movies. I cried as a kid in the movie Radio because it's really sad.
That one is very sad.
I cried in Your Name, which came out a couple years ago, which is incredible. And I cried in The Force Awakens because of, I was saying, a mix of joy and a mix of just pure... just sadness, and it was a weird mix. I felt that at Super Saiyan 3 tonight. Like, we've seen the movie, spoilers. I was saying to Kyle when, what was I saying to you? Camera came on, I got nervous.
Nebula.
When the first rocket came in,
yeah,
my eyes started going, and I started feeling it. And then when Cap picks up the hammer, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest. The first thing I thought, the first thing I thought was,
oh my god.
Well, no. The first thing I thought was, is Vision alive? He's the only one I know who can do that. And then I went, no.
Yeah,
and then they show him, and and it was a mix I've never felt in a theater. Like it was so much of just. I had tears going down my face, staying choked up, but it was a mix of pure sadness and joy.
I mean, already before that, we see the Trinity, Thor, Iron Man, and Cap gonna face off against Thanos when Thor has his hammer Mjolnir and Stormbreaker in each hand, and you're just like, oh my god. I nearly screamed so loud at Infinity War
Kyle,
when I first saw Stormbreaker.
I screamed very loudly
you
a
did
lot.
Too.
You know this about me. I'm a loud guy.
But then seeing him with the 2 hammers, I couldn't make a sound because that's how shocked I was.
And when he got Mjolnir back, I was like, he's not ditching Stormbreaker. He's gonna fight with both. I thought that.
Yeah.
And I just, I can't. When all the ladies, when they're like, hey, we're here, and from what first of all, Black Widow's movie's a prequel.
Yeah, oh my god, the Hawkeye Black Widow scene, oh my god, but we can...
Anyway. Budapest, when they give that line back, and it's like, hey, we're not in Budapest
I love that you
anymore.
and I caught that, but everyone else was like...
No, I think people caught it.
I didn't catch that
No,
many
it's
people
been a
reacting
meme
to
forever. Where it's like,
really?
it would always be them being like, remember when we did this and, we fought in Budapest or whatever, and then... There would always be like somebody screaming at the bottom, being like, the movie we want, Marvel. That was been a meme for a while. I think people got that.
Okay, but I just didn't get I didn't hear a reaction from that. I only heard it from us.
We were probably
so
damn loud.
Well, that's probably true.
But when what she did to showcase that women can be superheroes, and then you get something like Wonder Woman that comes along and shows that they can lead the film, and then you see in Infinity War, that she's not alone, and it makes that moment with Black Widow more impactful now. Because it was her saying, she's not alone. Trust me, when you come after us girls, the boys ain't fighting our fight. We're here to battle. And when at first, when they were like, how are you going to get through all that? I was like, well, she's going to be fine. Like, it's Captain Marvel. I thought she was just going to fly through, and then when all the girls showed up, I was like, oh, she's going to be more than fine.
And then we were just like, oh, there's the female Avengers.
And I got to say something, guys. If you watch the podcast, you met Julie. Her and I on the same wavelength. If you watch that, love the Wasp. Oh, I think her and I were the only ones that screamed in the theater when the Wasp showed up. And I was like, let's go! Oh my god, I love them all. And you knew in the beginning when Dan was like, I can't come back. I'm saving everything. I'm trying to help everywhere. I won't be back for a while. It was, you'll be back in the big moment. And she does.
True.
But it is such a payoff moment when all the cannons turn and they're like, what are they firing at? The biggest threat. And we got Scarlet Witch coming in and showing how good she really is.
Toe-to-toe against Thanos, and then Captain Marvel.
And then she's just, oh my gosh. And,
the headbutt he tries to do on her, but then she just doesn't flinch. She's like, that's not
Giant Man immediately
he
just decked Giant Chitauri guy. He just decked him and knocked him down.
Oh,
and
I love me some Giant Man. Oh my god.
Like, I was choked up. My tears had not fallen, but it's when... I mean, first of all, the pure enjoyment was making it build. And then with Cap fighting with Mjolnir, I mean, it's whoever possesses it has the power of Thor, and he's whoever is worthy. And when they're both using the lightning,
oh my god!
When he throws the shield,
and then the lightning's bouncing off the shield. Oh my god, it's pure magic.
And when he's
pure
down, honestly, I wasn't thinking like they're gonna show up and save him. I was like, what's gonna? And then when the army showed up, I don't know if you heard me, but I really loudly went, "Oh, beep!" Like I just said it. And not super loudly, but probably enough for the people next to me to hear. And then all of a sudden when it was, the radio tunes in and it's, hey, Cap. And then he gets that great line, hey, I'm on your left. And you see the circle. I'm not even, pure joy. Just a tear fell. And I was like, this is going to be awesome.
Oh my
and
God. It was
armies.
It's more than I imagined it was going to be. I was imagining like the heroes just coming in.
No, it's armies.
But
it's
armies,
everybody.
Everyone. Literally everyone showed up. It felt like everyone that was someone.
So do you think when Doctor Strange held up the one, was it saying that this was the one time we win, or was he saying one has to die for us to survive?
I imagine he's saying this is the one.
I think so.
That would make the most sense to me. But that was a great moment too between him and
it ends the way it should. This whole thing started with I am Iron Man, and it ended with I am Iron Man, and then he did it.
He had his own gauntlet.
He
had his own gauntlet. What? He had a gauntlet? Are you joking?
Although your rules are a little ridiculous. He snapped, and I was like, half the universe gone again? Are we just hoping?
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna do it right.
But he took out the people, and then when Peter comes up,
oh my God, Tom Holland is so good.
When he comes up and he's like, I can't do this. Like, I need you. And you see,
so good.
I do love that they brought, at the funeral scene, that they brought Marissa Tomei in, because it gets rid of the questions of her knowing about him, and I think it's just important.
You're right, yeah.
Because she's going to be like, there's aliens here. Like, of course.
You need, you need it.
Which
you need
is
to step
good.
up now.
It's
I like that.
And
I like that twist.
I loved the funeral shots of going to everybody and
Yeah.
ending with Nick Fury coming back, and we're assuming that kid, because there was that kid in the back, and I was like, who is that? And Kyle's like, I think that's the kid from Iron Man 3.
It has to be. Either that or it's the kid from Iron Man 2.
Which is a weird kind of pickup, but good on the Russos.
It's a good callback. It's a weirdly good callback.
Or the writers. But yeah, it made me feel just the weirdest mix of joy and sadness.
I've never felt myself do dry heave sobs until Captain America finally says Avengers Assemble. Like, that's what just
and he just screams it.
There was a moment.
I was wishing Captain Marvel fell down next to him, and he was like, or she went Captain, and he went Captain, and then they kept fighting. That would have been fun.
And then Falcon's like, I'm gonna be a captain.
Falcon being the choice over Bucky, I really love.
Call back to the comics. It makes sense in the terms of the MCU universe.
The Winter Soldier's been him too, but I think for the way the MCU is set up, it should be him, and now it makes sense for their show. They're gonna go on adventures together.
It may be called the new Captain America,
I think they'll stick with
the Winter Soldier.
Is he Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon. I actually like that name.
Falcon Punch.
That's
his name.
Yeah, that's right. Now I get why I like it.
I've never. This was a concert. This was a once in a lifetime thing.
It literally.
Kids are going to look at us and say, the way I've asked my dad. I was like, hey, like. You were there when Star Wars came out. What was it like? And he's told me his story as not being a huge nerd, but he told it. And our kids are gonna one day be like, what was it like when you saw this in the theater?
I remember that too. My dad either told me the story of either Revenge of the Sith, The Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi. And he was at like one of the first nights that one of those two opened, and like immediately when like the Lucasfilm. Well, maybe not the Lucasfilm logo, but like when a long time ago in a galaxy, when that pops up, everyone just cheers in the theater, and that's...
Or maybe Empire's in that, from what I said earlier in the non-spoiler review. It's Empire 2, and it's just that original
but like that's gonna
be done something.
And Dad telling me that story is gonna be me telling to possible future children if that happens.
If that happens, will you be like, wait... And he pull up movie meals. Kids, we got it all documented.
They'd just be like, "Oh, Dad, that's so vintage." As they're like in hologram
Get by the
space.
YouTubes now. I'm calling Uncle Al. Kids, get in the car. We're driving
to Uncle Al's.
We're going to Uncle Al's
to watch more movie meals.
I have a built-in theater. I'm like, I got it on the tubes. Our wives will bring us like cut PB&Js. I'm just kidding.
With the crust off.
We'll make them. And
the crust will be cut off.
Again, though, just
But you're right, though. It's gonna be like that.
That's what this movie did. That's what this movie has done.
Yeah.
For people. People are gonna look back. The big nerds who like from that generation of Star Wars are going to come. There's going to be like a Marvel celebration where we celebrate these movies 8 years from now. Or 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Totally.
And I know, I've been saying to people, it was like, well, they'll never do, before I saw the film, people were like, they'll never do what they've done again. All the movies after are not going to be as good. I've had people say that to me, where they're like, they know all the movies after this are done.
Yeah, I've known a couple people too.
And it's, I said to him, sure, like, can we actually see the future? Like, I don't know. And they've got fuel to their fire because it's going to be hard to do what they did, and it's hard to become a once-in-a-generational thing.
Yeah.
And I think that is what this is. There's going to be other good Avengers movies. I really want that all-female Avengers movie. I really want that. Those are my girls, man. They were kicking ass. I loved it. But like when they all show up, they all show up. We've seen all the guys a million times. Yeah. When all the girls show up, and then like the Wasp appears all big, and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize she was there. She was so small. And then Captain Marvel flies down, or she was already there with the gauntlet.
Captain Marvel's so cool in this.
When she has her shorter hair, I was like, oh, Brie.
Oh god, gosh. The hair was a big surprise, but it's.
Now she has that in the comics, right?
Yeah,
accurate to the shorter hair.
Accurate to the comics. It looks awesome. She pulls it. Oh god, that was cool.
And again,
it might be a wig, but I'm not sure though. But regardless, it's still awesome.
I remember getting through most. I like a lot of the time travel stuff quite a bit.
It works very well, and I actually didn't get as lost as I thought it was going to be.
I remember hearing people were getting lost, and all those critics I saw, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, you're not as big of a nerd as me and Kyle. I think we'll be okay.
I think that's a part of it.
Because when they were like talking all their time to me, like, first of all, this is spoilers. Bringing back everyone. They brought back everybody.
Yeah.
They brought, the fact that we got to see Tilda Swinton back for an amazing scene.
Robert Redford.
Even
Renee Russo.
Even Natalie Portman came back.
Frank Grillo. Yeah, Natalie Portman came back. When that scene happened, I was like, please say, does anybody want to get out? That was one of the best reactions in the theater, hands down.
When he leans in, he goes,
yeah, because you think...
The whole theater went, yeah!
Because you think
at first... You thought he was going to beat them all up.
In like a similar elevator scene as from The Winter Soldier. Still one of the best fighting scenes of the entire franchise.
I finally got a popcorn kernel out of my teeth. Oh my God.
But then instead, when he leans over and fakes that he's a part of Hydra...
But that is such a great callback to the comics where people have been like, are we going to see evil Cap?
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, because they tricked us in the comics
let's
with that for
do
a
that.
while.
Let's have that moment.
Perfectly done. Oh, these people are so sick.
And I love the moment where Tony's like, hey, no, we can go back to another place I know where we can get more of this and we can get the Tesseract, and they go together. And I love Ant-Man, by the way. Paul Rudd and Spider-Man, the Bugmen, as you will, they are us.
You call them.
They are us in the movie. They have no idea what's going on, but they are here to
Paul
play.
Rudd kills
he
it.
is so good.
He almost steals the movie.
Oh my gosh.
If it weren't for the third act, he would have stolen the movie.
The scene where they get Soul Stone is so good.
Oh my God!
They fight over who needs to be sacrificed, and I was like, she's getting. Oh yeah. But they played it off of each other because you say in your head, we know Black Widow's getting a movie. She is not going. She's going to let him do this.
You would think Hawkeye would be.
And then they were like
they would do it.
They said to each other like, I'll go, and then they start fighting, and I was like, they're gonna fight for it. And then when he beat, I was 100%. I was like, he beat her.
Yeah.
And she forces his hand, and kills herself.
Oh my god,
through the
Jeremy
stone.
Renner when he has the stone, but he's weeping in the pool. Oh my god,
It's incredible.
That's some terrific acting.
The
And then
way they
when they come back and Bruce and Cap are like, where's Scarlo?
Where's
Scarlo? And he's like, oh,
I want to
they're
say
not,
these two
and
things.
they literally are like, she's not coming
When
back.
I saw Banner as Thor in control of Thor or Hulk.
Oh, Professor Hulk.
Is
so
that what
cool.
that is?
Yep,
Okay,
that's
so it's
Professor
so
Hulk, baby.
I'm
Oh
not
my
aware of that
God.
comic line. And
Oh my god, I love that
Thor
they just
being
threw it
chubby,
in without explaining it.
Thor, first of all, they clearly put prosthetics over his ripped body.
Oh,
You could tell.
obviously.
But when both of those happened, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
That's what I thought too.
And it just gets better.
Yeah.
And when Thor, I'm gonna be honest, when he has his hair the way he does and he finally attacks, he kind of looks like Odin. And he looks like the next king.
Love it. I love it.
As much as I do love ripped Thor, the way they all act, the very beginning when they're like, we can go hunt him down now. And, it's a little quick, it's a little fast, it's a little like, well, we're all here.
Yeah.
I'm Carol Danvers, let's go!
Yeah, the first act definitely is boom, 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 boom. But it does come to a point where it does settle down and you will be able to enjoy, like, the entire ride. Because it does not feel like 3 hours.
Also,
I thought I was going to be nervous about having to pee myself, just...
Oh my god, the
did.
plan of going again, worked like a charm.
I didn't even do that.
I had a
plan.
large soda.
Fine.
I don't drink large sodas. It was cheat day though. But when I did hear after the movie, because I asked what was the last trailer I didn't watch. Was there any money shots in there? I asked it to a buddy of ours, and he said the only thing you do see is you would have seen Cap, Thor, and Iron Man turn, and you would have seen Thanos in the armor.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't see that.
Oh god,
I'm so glad I didn't see that.
Literally, it was that final trailer. I don't remember at what point. It was the one that we didn't review. The one that we
there was one
the
we
one you
didn't
wanted us to
review,
review, but
and
we didn't
clips
review.
we didn't review.
I probably saw 4 seconds, and I was like, no, I can't. I gotta.
We needed to wait.
I was so proud of myself. I blocked especially with the job I have, where I have to kind of watch all these.
And most of it was in the
movies and
first
stuff.
hour, except for when Hawkeye's running in that tunnel. I noticed.
Yeah.
Of anything we
A
saw.
little bit of Ant-Man stuff too was also.
Oh, I guess him
kinda-
jumping on the thing and Cap doing the arm thing.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part though, nothing was spoiled, especially for
Yeah.
me. I went in almost completely blind. And I loved it. I'm so glad I went down that route. But really though, the marketing is not. I don't think the marketing is going to be giving too much away from what I've heard about it. So
I mean, to be fair, in the last trailers, they did give quite a bit away of Infinity War. When you really go back and look at it, it's like you see big moments of the Titan battle, Wakanda battle.
Yeah, but that's a bit different. That doesn't bother me all that much. They were money shots, but they weren't shots where I was like, well,
Trust me,
obviously
the money
this is
shots.
what's gonna
The money
happen.
shots are not in the trailer.
Oh god, no.
When they
God,
all
no.
do the line and the
Yeah.
whole armies are going,
Oh my
cried
god,
tears
the
pure joy.
Thanos' savage army from Infinity War, the Chitauri come back, his children are there. Oh my god, it was just this huge.
But it's so organic. It didn't feel
Against
like
him. Oh
it
my
didn't
God.
feel like a cop out way to do time travel. It felt like a pure organic thing that
Weirdly
happened.
enough, you're right.
Because
yeah.
Ant-Man, as for the world this lives in, it's so good when he shows up and he's like, I can do that. Oh my god, Tony and his daughter.
Great
That
job.
broke my heart when he
those
says,
scenes
"I love
between
you
the two
3000."
are- Yeah.
Oh my god, man, I'm gonna tear up now. I'm a crier, but I'm not a movie crier. I don't get this. I'm not used to this, man.
Believe me, my dry heave sobbing 4 times in this movie. There was, oh my god,
Valkyrie
it's gonna get people
showing
emotional.
up, baby. Ooh, on her Pegasus.
I'm glad the Valkyrie character paid off in Endgame. I was worried that she was just gonna be like, I'm back and I'm here for the fight. No, she actually
And they
had
brought
quite a-
back. They brought
quite a bit.
everyone
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And it was so. I mean, even if you got Natalie Portman back, that's a big deal.
That's a tough sell.
And she didn't phone in getting out of bed.
Yeah, that was literally her. I love that they made
Watch
fun.
it wasn't even her.
I love that they made fun. Probably not. But it was a good look like.
Yeah.
But I love that they made fun of Thor: The Dark World in this movie. Did you catch that? Because they were like, "Okay, explain to us about these stones,"
yeah.
and he's like, Alright, so here's what happened. So my ex-girlfriend, put her hand in the thingy, and then the thing shot up in her. And I slowly was like, oh my god, everyone's reaction is what everyone's reaction is to Thor the Dark World.
And I love Spider-Man showing up, and he gave us an exposition dump. He was like, I don't know what happened, but the wizard, we all came back, I was dust, and the wizard showed up, and he's like, we gotta get everybody, we gotta go, we gotta fight.
I love that he says, it's been 5 years, and I just am like, and imagine that too. Imagine
5 years.
Everyone coming back to life 5 years later. The world would not be the same.
The world would celebrate in happiness afterwards.
There would be world peace.
Probably.
Like, for the love of God, there would be world peace, guys.
Although, when Cap is like, hey, I just saw a pod of orcas in the bay, there's not enough ships, it's healthy waters, and Scarlett's like, well, don't try to cheer me up. I was like, I don't know, it does sound pretty good.
I do like seeing a few orcas.
Clean up the earth, donate now. Anyway, not to us, to organizations.
Or to us.
We loved this movie.
Oh, so much.
I love this movie. I'm going to be honest, I really wish they would, after the big opening weekend, like, if Marvel would announce, hey, we're going to do a select thing where you can watch Endgame and Infinity War back-to-back for 5 hours. I want to watch those back-to-back on the big screen so bad.
True.
And I've seen Infinity War a dozen times, so I know. And now that I've seen Endgame, going to the bathroom is not a big deal. I know the parts to go and that I'm okay to miss. But I really want to see that play out as one film because it is meant to be. As much as they stand alone on their own, it's the story of Thanos.
That would be very curious to see because I do feel like, that these are very separate movies, and that's great. That really is great. But at the same time, I'm like, if you marathon back to back, what is that gonna feel like? So you're right. That is very interesting.
And the way it's all so organic, like the stuff with Nebula making sense, how Thanos figures this out makes
Nebula's
a lot of sense.
Nebula's arc in this was a lot of fun.
It was, but it makes sense. It makes sense that the only person who's electronically wired would randomly sync in with her other self. That makes so much sense.
I didn't even think of that, and when that reveal happens, everyone in the theater's like, oh.
The amount of cheers, oh my god!
More than
I haven't had that many cheers. It really was.
I've never heard
Force
that many
Awakens. It was
sobs.
so many. That's true. No, it didn't have the sobs. It was. Those are the big event movies we've seen. Has been Infinity. A lot of the Marvel movies have been. Civil War was. It was packed, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
I've only felt this with the last two Star Wars saga films and Infinity War in this. I didn't even feel it with the first Avengers, and I didn't feel it with Ultron. These two movies have changed something in people, and it's incredible. I can't explain the feeling of joy and sadness. It was I was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I was not perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Oh my gosh.
There literally were moments.
I can't believe how hard I cried.
There were moments where they would take a beat, like when Tony was dying, they took a beat and it was quiet in the theater and all you could hear was sniffing.
Yeah.
And my nose is still red from it. I loved Pepper Potts coming in. Loved it.
She worked very well in the small role she had.
Loved it. That she said, "There's a battle going on," and Dr. Strangelove, he's like, "There's a battle. We got your suit. Let's go."
The rescue. I thought we were gonna get her in the rescue suit in Iron Man 3, but I am so glad that we got that in here.
The Tilda Swinton scene is so good.
Yeah.
When they're just talking, he's like, "I need this," and she's like, "I'm not. I get it, but this is," and they're explaining it.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Well,
I'll tell you my.
I just loved that. That's how it came to be. Where he said, "Then why the heck?" Because he's getting frustrated. He's like, then why did Doctor Strange give it up? But she understands reality, as she's the only character who could be like, no, I know Steven's going to be here in a couple years. I've got the time stone. I've seen the future. But she clearly hasn't seen, as far as Thanos, because that doesn't exist in her timeline yet. Yeah. So she's like, wait a minute. I know for a fact in a few years Doctor Strange is going to be the best wizard we've ever had, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
If he gave it up, then you gotta have it. And she's like, I trust you.
For a split second, I thought she was gonna like think, oh wait, I made a mistake, and then like would do something with time to where like it changes who Doctor Strange becomes. But I am glad that
they're doing a Doctor Strange too.
Oh yeah, obviously. But that thought did go in my head because like her thinking about like rationalizing like why did he do that? I was like, oh, is she gonna?
All the wizards come into the big battle too, like when they're protecting
everybody. Where were they?
They were guarding the sanctum.
Well,
One
clearly
went back to guard the sanctum.
Did they guard the sanctum for 5 years?
Yes,
after everything happened, they're like,
job.
just in case something happens.
That's their
bigger
job.
fish to fry.
That's Doctor Strange too.
I know. I'm just
it's
saying.
all
It's
one.
funny to think.
Doing his thing, protecting the sanctum. Because I remember thinking that I was like, oh, I hope he comes back in Endgame when he's like, when
then he comes back and all of a sudden just like they're all just coming back. It's
that
like,
set piece.
God.
I know. I did hear. One of our buddies said it was a little overwhelming, the whole end battle, because it was a lot going on.
Oh, it was perfect.
It was, guys. I'm telling you right now. To me, the best battle I've ever seen on camera has been in Game of Thrones, and that's what this felt like, because in that they have that where two armies just attack, and the second thing I thought after that was, I really want this in Star Wars with lightsabers. It always comes back. But no, like it's Avengers Assemble when he tightens it on his wound, and he's like, I'm gonna kick, and he's still using his broken shield. I'm going again tomorrow morning.
I'm so jealous, man.
I'm going to get called in sick. Call in sick. Call in sick.
Oh, they're gonna know what I mean.
Are they seeing it tonight, your boss?
No.
What is wrong with them?
I'm gonna give them a stern talking to.
You need to walk in tomorrow and say, we should be taking a work day together to go see this.
Oh, I'm going to.
You should have gone.
I'm going to tell them that. I'm going to tell them all that. Like I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like, why are you not going to see this? Go see this. It's so good. Oh,
this is gonna. I guarantee you, this is gonna be the movie I watch the most in the theater, and my record's 4. I guarantee.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it every day after.
I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna see it probably again this weekend, except for tomorrow. I don't think, unless something comes up. But I've planned that next Thursday is my last finals day, and I get done in the noon, in like noon or 2 or something like that. So I think I might just go pick a showing and just nothing comes out next weekend, is it? Is Pikachu 2 weekends from now?
Yeah, it's 2 weekends.
It should be. There'd be. First of all,
there's long shot.
Go put it as far away from. What are you doing if you're another movie right now?
Yeah. Sorry, they just take everything back.
It's like Disney just walked into any money Shazam was still hoping to make and was like, sorry, up there.
Sorry, we didn't know that was gonna be there.
Kevin Feige's in the background while Bob and Alan are doing that, and he's like, I'm sorry. I loved this spoiler review. There were rumors there were no after credit scenes. There are not any after credit scenes. I think you should still say, because I think it's paying homage to everything. Yeah. And my prediction was obviously wrong as a thank you, but we also kind of got that with their signatures and the ending on the original 5.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
6. Or 6. You're right. And it did go the way I thought. I thought Cap and Tony were going to be done for good, and I thought. I thought that Thor would stick around because I think he's really enjoyed these movies.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has the same not artistic desire, but like he just loves doing whatever, I think. Yeah. And same with Hulk, so I don't know if we'll see him again. I don't know now if Hawkeye is going to be, maybe if it is going to be his TV show or not, because I thought we were going to get more deaths. But we did lose Vision permanently. It looks like we lost Loki permanently. It looks like we
lost Gamora, question mark.
It looks like we lost Gamora.
I think that's going to be a plot point in Guardians 3, though. Also, Thor and the Guardians. Oh, my God.
That's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
I want him to buff back up. I want him to shave it all. I liked short hair Thor quite a bit. I liked Infinity War.
I didn't know what I
quite
thought you said. Okay, I'm on the
He fought with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
Now just do that in Guardians 3, and you're gonna win every battle. It'll be perfect.
What happened to Mjolnir though? He took that with him.
No, Cap took Mjolnir with him.
So what happened
to travel? Don't know, man.
That's because Stormbreaker's the new weapon.
Oh yeah, Stormbreaker's awesome.
Do you think the Russos, just before the James Gunn stuff happened, when his script was still ready, do you think they walked in and they were like, hey, by the way, you get Thor? And he was like, really?
I don't know why that got me. That was really... You just had a facial expression like...
That was James Gunn. And then Alan came in and was like, we saw your tweets. get out of here. And he was like, I just got Thor though. And he just, every day he begged him and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm a better person. I want Thor. I want to handle Thor.
Oh my god, that was good. Oh,
Korg coming back was crazy. The talk with his mom.
Scene.
I always thought
that worked out a lot better than I thought it would.
I did think Thor was gonna get his Shazam moment where the lightning struck him and he suddenly. I thought he was gonna beef up and look powerful, but
like,
he did.
The guts gone.
He did look powerful, but he did stay beefy a little bit.
That was true though. Like towards the end of the movie, when he's holding like. He has a new suit, like the beard's all braided, and like he has Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. Odin. He still looks like Odin, but he still feels powerful with Thor, despite him having like the beard belly, which that's not a bad thing, of course. But it's just funny,
Avengers
like with what we know of him,
assemble.
like it still works. Oh my, dry heaving sobs of just so many emotions of finally hearing Chris Evans, Captain America, say that. And I thought it was gonna be with like a group of 15 of the heroes, like the big core of them. But just the fact that it was like even the secondary characters, the Black Panther's army doing the chant, and just all of the sorcerers. Oh my god!
I think Kevin, when he started this, I think he just talked to Jon Favreau, and he's like, "My hope for this is to really make it bigger than anybody's ever seen, and I want it to end." I want to get the Avengers, and I want to continue and build up Thanos, and I want it to end with a lot of Avengers. And I wonder if just as they it would be it's like you and me going up to people and being like we've been building this really cool thing or something, and just one day we just say it in passing to a friend, and they're like, that sounds like a James Gunn or a Taika Waititi,
our friends,
or the Russos, and you just say like, hey, like. We're doing this cool thing, and they're like, really, can I check it out? And they check it out, and they're like, here, let me help over here, and they do their thing, and then they're like, but this will help this piece, and it grows beyond, and they get a Ryan Coogler, they get all these incredible people who are super nerds and who stay invested, where they go to Ryan and they go to Chadwick and they say, how do we make Wakanda into this? When Black Panther showing up, I think at first is the best because I think he's the real new leader of the whole Avengers.
Well, $700 million says that he's the new leader. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
That wasn't Black Panther that came out. That was a big giant dollar sign that came out saying, "We're back."
We're gonna make more money. Alan and Bob just sit back and they're like, love working for Disney.
I love having this the character money. I mean, Black Panther in our universe. Sorry, that was weird.
But they gave everybody their own moment. Yeah, and it's just.
The payoff.
They show off.
It's through the roof.
It's a love letter. Like really, the half of the first. Part
the
of the
time
movie
travel part makes
is
it
a love letter.
Yes, to not only the franchise, to certain movies, but just for characters themselves. There's moments with time travel where it affects Captain America on a personal level, where it affects Tony Stark on a personal level, where it affects Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow,
it affects Gamora and
even Nebula. Oh my god, and the payoff is just so damn amazing. It's more than I could have ever imagined.
I get why people came, the initial critics came out and said, a lot of them were like, wow, it's a lot, and it's a lot to take in. I need to see it again, but that payoff. And I think that's why it's got a higher percentage on Rotten Tomatoes, because people, when they've gone back and rewatched it, are like, this is really cool. There are holes as a film and a script. That's true.
There are. We mentioned that before we even made this video.
But that's the point of storytelling. It doesn't really matter what the holes in your story are. What matters is telling a great story. And they've told a great, amazing story for over 100 hours of time, for over 22 movies.
10 plus years.
Over 11 years. You say it's really 11, but you say 10 because it sounds a little better.
Yeah.
But it really was 11 years, and we are going to continue to get to see Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and the Guardians, but we're never going to see anything like we just saw.
Yeah.
And I'm weirdly very glad that we honestly make these videos, because I want to go back and rewatch these 10 years from now. So don't delete them, YouTube, because I have to delete them off my hard drive. So please don't delete them, YouTube. One day YouTube purges them, and I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
There's a couple reviews I'd like to save, but it's.
I know what you mean, though. This is an incredible feeling that I hope doesn't go away for a while.
I'm gonna see this movie. Like Kyle, when it slowly is like, man, it's kind of dying. We'll be next week when we're like, hey, by the way, we're leaving. Everybody gather in the car. We're going to the IMAX. Yeah. Because we didn't see it in an IMAX. We saw it in a big screen, but we didn't go to. It's a massive IMAX we're going to.
Yeah.
And
making that trip.
It's going to be worth it. We're gonna drive back late at night, and that trip is going to be something special, guys. Like we're just geeking out.
The conversations that will be had, man. It's amazing.
I love this movie. I'm so excited. I'm seeing it again in less than I'm gonna see it again in like 10 hours.
I'm so jealous, man.
Like literally 10 hours.
I'm so jealous. I want to see this as soon as possible.
I better buy my ticket. I hope they don't sell out.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
it's gonna be weirdly packed. Almost all. I wonder if all the showings tonight were sold out. There were 2 unsold out.
Like
you
said
tonight.
in the last video we did, like the line went like past the building and around the corner, and like
it's a long building.
It's a long building.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like 50 yards or something. Like it's a long building.
Yeah,
About 50, maybe longer. I don't know.
200 yards.
I don't do math.
Math for suckers. Don't stay in
How
school,
am I
kids.
supposed to, like, I'm going to be sitting taking my math test next week, and I'm going to be like, all right, carry the 2.
None of this matters.
And Tony figured out how to go back in time without messing the timeline up because
that
I put
is
everything
really
back
funny.
right.
In like the span of like 6 hours, you're like, oh, I figured out time travel.
It's so good for him, though, where he's like, hey, Pep, like, I figured it out. And she's like, and that
she's like, of course you did.
He says to Cap, like, you're right, we need to fix this. But I found the only thing that works for me through this darkness. I'm the only one who seems to be okay with it.
That's a sad
I can't
moment.
leave it.
Like a sad, but
I thought his daughter might be toast, but they figured it out.
Because it's funny too, because it kind of goes back to what Thanos was like saying about like trying to just kind of do a fresh start and all the mumbo jumbo that he kept talking about. But weirdly enough, like Tony Stark like hated him the most, but yet somehow found happiness out of that tragedy. Like that's so good.
And when Pepper says, "Hey, you get to rest now," it kills you. It kills you.
Just
and
the look on his
face
face as he's just slowly. Oh my God,
and he's just at peace.
So
and him making a recording was just beautiful, so she can go back and look at that all the time. And
this is a very small moment too. But right after that, with Jon Favreau and Tony's daughter, and
oh my God, it's
the
incredible.
cheeseburger line, like it's weirdly touching because Favreau's
took me a
big reason of why this all began.
He's
the
first guy who lit the fire.
Yeah, he's the first guy he was part of the reason that we got to take a chance on RDJ as Iron Man. Like that shouldn't have happened. That should not have worked.
Well, Terrence Howard was a big part of that too. They've talked about, but
true.
He's got to be sitting back being like, God dang it, I should have taken the pay cut. Like, look at this movie.
I mean, Empire's still on TV, right?
I mean, it is. It's doing good
for him.
But the cheeseburger line. It took me a second because I was processing everything that had happened. That she was like, she's like, I'd love a cheeseburger, and he goes, yeah, and he took a second. I was like, oh man, and he's like, your dad loved cheeseburgers too. It was like, that's the first thing he said when he got back. He wanted an American cheeseburger.
You're right.
That you didn't think of that?
I didn't even think.
That's
of that.
what I thought. It's the
my
first
God.
thing Tony's. That's why he's so emotional because the first thing Tony said in Iron Man 1 was, I want an American cheeseburger. That's why he was so emotional. And I thought I was going to get yelled at. Then it took me a second when I watched the film. He's learning about it now.
God, and there were so many other small things I saw too, but that one, that's even more powerful. Like that scene, I mean, I already love that small little scene so much, but just that on... But then that on top, oh my God, such great callbacks.
That's why it works so much, is that your dad liked cheeseburgers too. That was what he wanted, man, and a classic American Burger King cheeseburger.
I don't want to
a Burger King cheeseburger. That's the American dream right there. There's too many incredible moments.
So
like, I'm
good.
just Cap and Tony fixing everything, saying, do you trust me? And he's like, I do.
Yeah.
And they go back in time, they do their thing, like the little Power Ranger watches. It's just...
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, they play so many great jokes. The fact that, we're watching, you could feel the energy when the song came on and everybody was like, it's going to switch to Peter dancing because we went back in time, and it does.
Yeah.
You can feel the room kind of jive a little bit. They're loving it. And then all of a sudden when it cuts, it's just him dancing by himself, and they're watching him, and he's like, "Oh wow, he's an idiot." The whole theater loses it because
he is.
That's what you're not thinking that because when you see him in the first Guardians, you're like, "Oh, we've all been there." Like you don't think about that when you do it, but then you realize when somebody else might be watching you, it can be a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
And they just when he shows up and Gamora just kicks him immediately, and Nebula, she's like, "This is the one I fell in love with." Well, it's either that or a tree. It's we didn't get Drax. I'm gonna be honest. Now that I think about it, he didn't really he came in with everybody. We didn't really see him much in the big battle.
Yeah,
I'm a little okay with it. I'm a little okay with it.
Well, especially with how much of an impact like Thanos had on Drax in like the first Guardians. That is, thinking about it now, that's a bit upsetting. But I mean,
the way they've kind of ruined Drax for me.
The bigger scale of it all, man. That's just the bigger payoff to me. Like, I'm willing to look past that if like the payoff was as amazing as.
And maybe there's a moment we missed. It was so chaotic, but
I mean, maybe he had a good punch on it.
I mean, what was crazy is when the theater had. It was weird because like. When I'm comparing them because they were event films. Like when we went to The Force Awakens, the cheers happened throughout the film. Yeah. There were cheers throughout, and we got like 2 hours in, and I was like, we haven't really cheered much.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I wanted that massive battle like that. I was really hoping we would get it, and we got it.
Delivered on the zone.
And when it was back and forth, big cheers and sobs.
Yeah.
But they're one of the loudest cheers, and the only because I'm my family is known for being loud, and I'm definitely the loudest of all of them. But my brother's pretty loud too. But the only time he overtook me was when Spider-Man took the gauntlet, and everybody was surrounding him, and he goes, "Activate kill mode," and it went in, or instant kill or whatever he said, and his eyes went red.
Yeah.
The whole theater erupted, and the only thing I really heard through all that was my brother be like, "Oh!" He like lost it.
I did not know that. That's
he
awesome.
lost
That's
it, and then
awesome.
He's just stabbing everybody. And Spidey's doing his thing. Skip work, come with us. Call in sick. Say I'm Avengers.
They'll know
sick.
exactly why.
I'm Avenger. I want you to walk in and say, when you see it, you'll understand why we should have the day off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk into class and say that, and it's final review day. I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Have you seen Endgame yet? Because if you haven't, you're an idiot." And I'm gonna flip a table, and I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna go. Out. There was a moment in the car. I went full Gungan. I got in with Zach, who was on our podcast, and we just kind of sat there. And before I turned the car, and I just went. I just needed to get all that mixed emotions. I needed to calm everything down, so I went full Gungan to do it.
Oh my gosh!
This movie is so good.
It's so good. Like
how. I know you didn't put Infinity War your number one, but like they're so good.
Yeah,
together.
I just can't. This is a movie like we truly don't deserve such amazingness like this. Like people are crummy, man.
And this
like,
is
the
why
world's a crummy place. Like we don't deserve.
This
such
is why
joy
I say
and
it's a trend. It's a once in a generation film, and there's now only two. Two groups you can say that. Like it doesn't feel like it's a rivalry. It feels like we're both holding the same torch because that's how they felt when that movie first came out. Yeah. And The Empire Strikes Back came out. That's how they felt. And that's like I've heard the story. Like obviously for me, seeing Star Wars as a kid blew my mind. But that didn't mean I wasn't also watching these Marvel shows. I wasn't watching X-Men and Spider-Man shows and all these different superhero shows.
Yeah.
And when you get, it's crazy because there's this whole talk that like nerds have taken over now. Like, the nerds one day actually did become rich and powerful and took over. But think about this. A bunch of really good people, I guess if you didn't like James Gunn's tweets, you can minus him. But he learned from his mistakes.
Yeah.
But they came together and said, you know what? We've built ourselves into this situation to make something that is going to blow everyone away.
Yeah.
And let's do it. And I would love, I don't know why more movies don't do this, these big event movies. I really hope they shot some documentary about Infinity War and Endgame together. Do you know how great that would be if they released a documentary in theaters? It'd make so much money.
Didn't the Russo brothers come out saying they have a documentary I don't think about the movies, but just about Stan Lee. Like, didn't they say they were doing that? I thought I read somewhere that they...
Which would also be awesome, but I do...
would also be awesome, I just remember
I
that.
do want to... Like, I would love to see all of the actors talk about everything as a whole, what the process they went through. I would
oh my God,
love
yeah,
that.
would be something
I don't
special.
understand why studios don't say, wow, we have, like, Game of Thrones is... the rumor is they did it. And that's a once-in-a-generation TV show.
Right,
where it's like, why are you as a studio head not saying, let's get a camera crew back there. Mm-hmm. Let's sign them out so they won't spoil anything, and let's get a camera crew filming this. Let's interview the actors. Because they understand it. I remember when they wrapped, Chris Evans was like, you're not ready.
Yeah.
And you knew, so the actors the whole time have been like, they slipped a couple of them slipped a few things. And they were like, we have never seen the movie in whole. And I do believe they never did see the movie in whole, but all of them knew how it ended because they all said we all got our scenes, and there's a massive battle at the end that everybody's in. Like, they all knew how it ended.
Yeah.
And maybe they all individually, they all knew Tony died. Maybe they all didn't know Cap was going to go.
Yeah.
But, at least those few actors did. Mm-hmm. And it's just... They both go the way they deserve. You can tell they were kind of done with this film franchise. I can't wait to see what they do next. It is going to take a little bit getting used to Robert Downey Jr. not as Iron Man. I'll have a harder time than with Cap because he doesn't do anything else.
It's funny, like, people are like, I can't, like, they're not saying it angrily, but they're just like, I need these characters. I still need Thor. I still need Cap. I still need Iron Man. I'm like, well, yeah, but like 10 years ago, like, we didn't know who these characters were.
Well, it's also,
and the fact that we're now getting this 10 years later, be like, no, I can't let them go.
You have to view these movies as, this is the story that happened. Like, think of it as a documentary. Like, once this, that's the best thing about Star Wars is it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's why you can think of it that way. You can think of this as, this is what happened. This is how this guy died, and I'm just viewing it. And that's what I love so much because his arc is, like, I personally believe Iron Man has the best arc of anybody in the
I'll
MCU.
agree with that.
Cap's
my favorite character, but Iron Man is the best.
It will get overshadowed because so many people love Tony, but Cap has a really great arc throughout all of his movies.
Yeah.
And arguably they both do a lot of changing. They both get the ending they wanted.
Yeah.
I think if anyone wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, it also would be Iron Man to be the one to say, I am Iron Man.
That was my theory, like that's how it was gonna happen.
I was wondering who was going to take out the final blow. I knew it would be one of the originals. I just didn't know who.
My money was on Iron Man.
But we got the best. We got to see both of them just kick butt.
Yeah.
And Cap is using. Think a super soldier who does these crazy gymnastics. He fights hand-to-hand combat. Is normally getting his butt whooped by these big aliens, and then the second he gets the power of a god, and he combines that. He's doing tricks, blocking, throwing. He threw Mjolnir off his shield and created this big. Oh, I can't wait to see this. I don't know. I'm honest. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Although if you're still this far in, one of my buddies was. I was like, man, I can't wait to see this again. And he was like, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have some wet dreams tonight about this film. I'm just going to dream the scenes I saw.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible. But let's wrap this up.
Sure.
Just because we've been talking for a while. Guys, let's just put out a bunch of videos. Anytime we want to talk, let's just throw the camera.
Sure, why not?
Guys, if you made it 50 minutes in, please comment below. Let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share, as always.
Go see this.
Go see it, and thanks for watching, Mom.
Again, it's a spoiler. See you guys.